Now this first exercise, as an FYI, the goal for you is to get as much expansion in the back of your rib cage as you can, so kind of between your shoulder blades, in your upper back, just in your posterior rib cage in general. We're gonna try and decompress you back there as best we can and give you all the good feels. Now we're gonna do that in a few different ways, but the most important thing that I want you to think about when trying to make that happen is if you visualize your sternum, which is the bone in the front of your chest, I want you to really focus on getting that sternum to shift backwards, okay? That's a little different than pulling it down as we do in a cat-cow. I don't want you pulling it down so much as I really want you to focus on practicing getting that to shift back, because this is a human infrastructure class. So again, if you're in OHF, you know that the human infrastructure classes are geared towards trying to get you guys to work on things that I notice people really struggle with as a whole, and that there's many different people that have gotten so many benefit from it. And one of the things that I've really noticed people struggle with is their ability to get their rib cage to kind of shift back in space, which then requires them to open up the back. So that's what you're gonna be working on here. So try to be careful that you don't just pull your sternum down and point it at your knees, and rather you really work on shifting it backwards and getting your shoulder blades to separate out of the way to accommodate your rib cage coming back in space. Now, like I said, we're gonna give you two different versions of this first one. If you have a band, great. You can loop your band around your feet. I'd love if your feet were pointed straight off towards the ceiling and not off to the side like this. So we're gonna take that band, we're gonna loop it around our feet. I'll talk you through how you can do it without the band if you don't have one as well. And then you get to decide, choose your own adventure in terms of how much tension you want on this band. So I can grab it a little bit further out for less tension, or I can really kind of reel it in here and grab it quite close for a little bit more tension. Regardless of where you grab it, I want your shoulders to stay over top your knees, or sorry, over top your hips, excuse me. I don't want you leaned forward like this. I don't want you leaned back like this, okay? So just bear that in mind as you choose your tension level. Try and keep yourself stacked there. Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little bit of breathing here. We're really gonna try and open up that space in the back of our rib cage and see if you can shift your sternum back like I just talked about, okay? So the band is gonna give you something to kind of hang off of here if you have one. If you don't have one, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna set up toes pointed straight ahead, just like we talked about, and you're actually just gonna reach your shoulder blades forward and try and think about letting your sternum fall back as if you had a band that you were just kind of hanging off of, but you don't actually have one, and that's okay. And if you wanted to, you could use a shirt wrapped around your foot or a towel or something too. But it is nice to have something with some elasticity, so there's a little bit of give and a little bit of freedom for some movement there. But again, totally your choice. So if you have a band, great. And then, like I said, we're just gonna keep our shoulders stacked over top of our hips, and then we're gonna try and just hang back into it in this position here. Now in this position here, I'm gonna resist the urge to bring my chin all the way down into my chest, not just so I don't blow out your ears in the microphone, but so that our neck isn't getting super involved in what's going on here. So we're gonna hang into that. I want you to reach your shoulder blades apart, which is actually gonna create slack on the band as you sink your sternum back, which is actually gonna tension the band. So those two things will cancel each other out a little bit. And now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hang out here and we're gonna do a little bit of breathing. It's very hard for me to do the breathing and talk you through it. So I'm mostly gonna talk you through it, and I want you to do it as I'm talking versus waiting for me to do the breathing, because I can't do it and speak at the same time, okay? So listen to my words as we do this. I want you to silently inhale through your nose in this position, and you're trying to consciously just notice that air going into your back. It's not gonna happen so much on this first breath, but on the subsequent ones it will. Then when you exhale through your mouth, you're gonna sink your sternum back, let your sternum fall back in space, and try and capture a little more space between your shoulder blades as you blow all that air out, and then you're gonna pause for a brief second as you slowly inhale through your nose again. Now, when you inhale through your nose, you're trying not to let it go into your belly, anywhere but your belly, which should mean it goes somewhere into your back on that slow inhale. And then at the end of that inhale, you're gonna exhale, reach your shoulder blades apart as you let your sternum sink back. Notice your abs contracting at the end of that exhale. Don't lose them as you take another slow inhale. Nice and slow and easy here. Slow, slow, slow inhale through your nose. You don't even want to hear it. It should be that slow. And if you're not letting it go into your belly, you should feel it going into your back. Your back should feel like it's stretching on inhalation. And then as you exhale, Just sink into it a little more. Hang out there, pause for just a moment. Don't lose your abs as you slowly inhale one more time. Nice and easy here, just trying to hang into that stretch, slowly bring that air in. And then when you're maxed out here, you're gonna exhale and sink into it. Now, stay with me here, don't leave this position. One more slow inhale, I'm gonna change one thing here, okay? So slow, slow, slow inhale through your nose. On this next exhale, I want you to create as much slack on the band as you can. So you're gonna really reach your arms forward as you blow that air out. Whenever you're ready, and then you should feel that stretch in your upper back increase. Now keep that in mind here. You can come out of it